DreAllDay.com.
What's up, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. Get into the motivation for this week. This week's motivation is a real simple message. The message is you're going to die. I'm going to die, you're going to die, everybody you know is going to die. And the reason that's the motivation is a couple of things I want to share with you. I read this manifesto a few weeks ago. It's called How to Become Legendary by a guy named Johnny B. Truant. It's online, it's free. You just Google it, How to Become Legendary. You can go read it. It's short, it don't take that long to read. I read it in like 2 days. It's just about how a lot of people, a lot of people out there, maybe something you yourself could think about. I know it's things I could think about myself, or people that you know. You got things that you don't really want to be doing, things that ain't really getting you nowhere, not doing nothing for you, but you waste a lot of your time involved in those activities. Or you got things that you do really want to do, but you kind of half-ass about it, you bullshit about it, and you end up spending only a small percentage of the time that you have every day doing the stuff that you really want to do, or doing stuff that's going to get you to where you really want to be. And another thing that I wanted to share, another thing about that, how to become legendary, is that he talks about, like, eventually you're going to die. That's the main message of it. So why waste time with the BS? Because a lot of us, we see time as so infinite, especially when you're young. You see time as so infinite. None of the people around you are dying of old age or nothing. You think, I got plenty of time to do the stuff that I really want to do in life. I can BS and waste time now because I got time later. But you don't know when you're going to die. That's really the message of that manifesto. And another thing is, I don't know if y'all can see the little half a piece of paper I got up here on the wall here. A couple weeks ago, I got called to jury duty. So I had to go to jury duty. There wasn't no way to get out of it. Trust me, I tried. I Googled it. I'm looking all online. I'm asking people, like, yo, how can I get out of doing this jury duty? And they're like, in the state of Florida, it's hard to get out of it because they kind of take it serious. Other states, you can kind of get away with it depending on where you at, because each state does it differently. But in Florida, it's hard to get out of it. So I had to go to jury duty. And I was there I got there 8 o'clock in the morning. I didn't get back home till like 6 o'clock that night, and I didn't even get picked. Like, I went in and you sit in this big room, right? And they call all these people, like 20 at a time, and you got to wait till they call you and your group. You don't know when you're going to get called. So I sat in that room it wasn't until like 11:30 that I even got called. They called us, then they had us stand in line. Then the guy said, oh, it's time for lunch. So an hour from now, come meet me back here. So we had to do lunch. I would have just went in and did it then. We had to do lunch. Hour goes by, we get back there, they're like, oh yeah, your case got solved, the case that y'all was going to be the jury for, so y'all got to go back in the room and wait again until we get a new case for y'all. So we wait for another 2 hours. I mean, it's just empty room. It's dirty. I mean, my fingernails was dirty, and I wasn't even doing it. I wasn't touching nothing. I was just sitting there like this. By the end of the day, my fingernails was dirty just from sitting in this dirty-ass room with all these people. So anyway, they finally called us in. We go see the judge. And I didn't get picked for the jury. So I got home like 6 o'clock. So I was there for 10 hours and didn't even get picked. Do you understand that? So I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, like, me personally, I've never been incarcerated. I've never been in jail or prison or nothing like that. I was just thinking that must be somewhat what it feels like when you just sitting there watching time go by. You watching life go by, and there's nothing you could do. Because there was a certain point, probably about 3 o'clock, and I was like, forget this. I was about to just leave and go home. But then I said to myself, if I do that, according to their records, it'll be like I was never there. Because when they call my name, they're going to see I'm not there. They're going to be like, oh, this guy just no-showed jury duties. And then they're going to come after you with a bench warrant or whatever they do in Florida when you don't show up for jury duty. So I was like, all right, so I got to wait and do this. Now, you just sitting there watching time go by. And I'm just thinking all the stuff I could have been doing that day. And how much time was being wasted, and that whole day was wasted sitting there in jury duty. So I put it up on my wall right there just to remind me anytime that I'm bullshitting, doing something that's a waste of my time or not getting to the stuff that I really want to be doing in my life. Think about that day I sat in jury duty. They got wasted, and I'm going to make sure I won't get picked for jury duty again. Don't ask me how, but it ain't going to happen again. But the whole purpose of this week's motivation, me sharing those two anecdotes, is that we all going to die. And I think about that sometimes now, ever since I took a look at that manifesto and had that day of jury duty, that there's not a lot of time to waste. And I know I'm older than some of y'all older than me, but eventually we all going to die. None of us know when. At least most of us don't know the day that we going to die. Most of us are completely healthy. We ain't got no doctor's message saying you're going to die this amount of time. So it's not a lot of time to waste in life. So hopefully I ain't ramble too much on this weekly motivation. Y'all stay with me. That's the motivation for this week. Ain't no time to waste. It might be tomorrow for you. It might be next week for me. Do what you got to do. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com. You want to add a guaranteed 10 inches to your vertical? Not a maybe 10 inches. A guaranteed 10 inches to your vertical. Go to DreAllDay.com/jump. Get the jump manual. When you get it, I'm going to give you 5 free hoop handbooks or any free DVD. All you got to do is email me the receipt. DreAllDay.com/jump. Get your bounce up. You watch me work on my game, now it's time to work on yours. The Hoop Handbook is a series of workout programs straight from my own personal experience working out and training on every aspect of basketball. Ball handling, shooting, scoring moves, scoring over bigger defenders, the crossover, post moves, your weak hand, off the court training, dunking, vertical, all of it's covered. All you got to do is follow the program step by step. The Hoop Handbook.